In this video, I'm going to point you towards some software that can measure both involuntary and voluntary attention effects. First, I'll walk you through what you need to install and run this demo and show you what it looks like when it's running. Then in the next video, we'll talk about some of the types of questions you can ask and the plots you can construct with data collected using this demo. So to run this demo, you'll need to download and install Java if you don't have it installed already, software called NetLogo, and one script file which will be opened in NetLogo. And I'll provide a document with links for each of those downloads in the resources section. When you've opened that file in NetLogo, here is what you're going to see. One of the first things you're going to need to do is adjust the speed that this demo runs at. So this is going to be controlled by this slider up top. And you can see right now it says ticks are 0. And if I hit start, what you'll see is that things are happening very fast, much, much too fast. And when I hit stop, this tick count is up at 400,000 or more. What you want is for those ticks to go up at a rate of about 1,000 ticks per second. So we're just going to manually adjust this. So let's slow it down a little. Hit setup again to reset the tick counter to 0. Now hit start and count to 5. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. You can also use a stopwatch instead of counting aloud if you want to be more exact. Okay, so now ticks are still up at 136,000, still too fast. So getting it a little slower, set up to reset the counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop, and it didn't stop when I hit that, but it was around 5,000 when I reached 5. So this is approximately right. And you're not going to be able to get this perfectly precise. You just ideally want to keep the same setting if multiple users are running the experiment or collecting data in different conditions. So let's hit setup again. Other things you can adjust here are the SOA, or stimulus onset asynchrony. This is going to be the amount of time between the cue and the star that you're reporting. The type of cues, you've got central, peripheral, or symbolic. So peripheral cues are going to be those Posner cues that draw involuntary or exogenous attention. Central cues are going to be arrows appearing in the center, and those are employing voluntary or top-down attention. And lastly, symbolic cues, which are abstract shapes where you'll have to learn the association between the shape and the location, and then they'll get that same type of top-down endogenous attention as the central cues. You can also adjust the ratio of valid to invalid and neutral cues. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. We've got our speed approximately adjusted. Let's do peripheral cues. There's going to be a blue cross in the center of the screen, and that's where you should look. And then you're going to use the A and S keys on your keyboards to register where you see the yellow star. So just hit start. So that green box is giving you the peripheral cue, and you're responding to the yellow star regardless of where the peripheral cue shows up. When you're done, just hit start again. Okay, so on the right-hand side, you're seeing the results. So you've got reaction times in this row of boxes. So you've got your reaction times on valid or invalid cues, so when the cue and the stimulus were in the same location versus the cue and the stimulus being in a different location. We haven't had any neutral cues yet, which is why we don't have a value there. In the bottom, we have accuracy. So far, I haven't made any mistakes on either valid or invalid trials. And then up top, you can see how your reaction time was changing over time. So you can make sure that the subject is used to the task and that you're not getting wildly different values from trial to trial. Now, whenever you finish collecting data for a particular type of cue and SOA and complete set of conditions, you're going to want to make sure to write down these values. And then you can hit setup again to reset those values, maybe adjust your SOA and collect more data, and then write those down again. And in the next video, we'll talk about what you can do to analyze that data and construct some plots comparing exogenous versus endogenous attention, the time course of each, the magnitude of the effect of each.